Under a somber sky, mourners gather, their figures silhouetted against the grand chapel's imposing facade. A procession of sorrowful faces streams into the chapel, each step heavy with grief. Ruby Lang, a hardened journalist at 34, arrives, her expression a mask of detached observation. Her eyes, sharp and assessing, scan the crowd, a silent observer amidst the collective mourning. She stands apart, a solitary figure on the edge of sorrow, her posture revealing a story yet untold. The chapel air is heavy with the cloying sweetness of roses, a deceptive mask over the somber gathering of mourners. Ruby stands frozen at the podium, her knuckles bone white as she clutches the eulogy. She inhales deeply, a visible tremor in her shoulders as she prepares to speak. Her eyes dart across the sea of faces, each glance betraying a raw nerve beneath her composed facade. In stark darkness, a single light pierces through, revealing a face shrouded in shadow. The figure remains cloaked in mystery, the source of light unseen, the setting unknown. A voice emerges from the gloom, world-weary yet laced with an undeniable resolve. The voice belongs to Ruby, her words echoing in the void, cutting through the silence. Legacy is a lie we tell ourselves to survive each other, Ruby declares, her words a harsh truth. The shadows deepen as her statement hangs in the air, challenging the very notion of inherited worth. In the solemn chapel, Ruby stands tall at the lectern, her voice cutting through the heavy silence. Her eulogy is delivered with a chilling steadiness, devoid of any warmth or grief. The audience is a sea of sorrow, their faces wet with tears as sobs echo through the chapel. Cameras flash relentlessly, freezing every painful moment in time. A somber atmosphere hangs heavy in the funeral home as rows of chairs stretch towards the podium. Ruby stands, a solitary figure delivering the eulogy, her voice echoing softly in the silent room. The faces in the crowd are studies in grief and veiled curiosity, each a story etched in sorrow. Ruby's words cut through the silence, hinting at hidden depths. And so, we say goodbye to Martin Lang, a man of great influence and, perhaps, even greater secrets. Inside the chapel, Ruby casts a nervous glance towards the front pew, her eyes fix on Martin Lang, her father, his gaze unwavering. A faint smile plays on Martin's lips as he watches her. Ruby freezes, her expression shifting to shock. The weight of the moment settles heavily in the sacred space. Ruby's eyes flutter open in the dimly lit chapel. She blinks, a moment of confusion clouding her vision as she looks around. The pew is empty. The expected presence is gone. A discordant note pierces the silence as the organ music falters, mirroring her unease. A palpable sense of abandonment fills the sacred space. In the solemn quiet of the chapel, the echoes of the service fade into a heavy silence. Dr. Calder, sleek and with an unsettling calm, moves deliberately through the lingering mourners. His polished shoes click softly on the stone floor, each step measured and precise. He approaches Ruby, his presence a stark contrast to the raw grief surrounding her. An unnerving stillness radiates from him, a silent promise of intentions unknown. The air thickens with unspoken words as he closes the distance between them. A heavy, somber atmosphere pervades the unknown space, casting long shadows and dimming the light. The silence is broken only by the weight of unspoken grief and unresolved emotions. Calder's expression is a mix of solemnity and purpose, his presence adding to the gravity of the moment. The air thickens as Calder prepares to speak, the weight of Martin's request hanging heavy. His voice resonates in the stillness as he reveals, "Martin wanted you to read that eulogy." The revelation that it was part of his legacy study adds a layer of complexity and intrigue to Martin's final wishes. Calder extends a hand, offering a small, rectangular object. A USB drive gleams, its label stark against the dull plastic. Close up on the drive, the words, "Rebirth, Phase 3, are clearly visible. The fate of Rebirth now rests in Ruby's hands. In the dim light of her apartment, Ruby delicately slides the USB drive into the laptop. The laptop screen awakens with a sudden flicker, casting its glow on Ruby's face. A video begins to play, revealing the unmistakable image of Martin. The scene on the screen intensifies, drawing Ruby deeper into the unfolding narrative. Ruby's eyes are fixed on the screen, her expression a mixture of anticipation and apprehension as she watches Martin. A grainy video flickers to life on a monitor, the image wavering with distortion. The image sharpens, revealing Martin's face, his features intense and alight with a manic energy. His eyes blaze from the screen, holding the viewer captive with their fervent gaze. "Death isn't the end," Martin declares from the video, his voice echoing with conviction. "It's a reset of identity." The shaky video focuses on Martin's ashen face, his eyes wide with fear. Behind Martin, a silent assembly of patients in white clothing stands motionless, their presence deeply unsettling. A laptop screen reveals a horrifying truth. Obituaries, pre-published, casting a pall of death over the scene. The contrast of digital finality and silent figures amplifies the chilling dread. Inside Ruby's apartment, an unsettling chill crawls down her spine as she stares intently. Her eyes dart across a sea of faces, a growing unease tightening her chest. Among the crowd, a face emerges from the blur, sparking a terrifying recognition. It's Sarah Jenkins, a ghost from yesterday's headlines, a missing person she reported on just last month. Her breath hitches, a silent gasp escaping her lips as the weight of the discovery crashes down. The room spins, the vibrant colors fading into a monochrome of dread as the puzzle pieces click into place. In the soft glow of a bedside lamp, Ruby sits alone on her sofa, the dim light casting long shadows across the room. Her fingers tremble, almost imperceptibly, as she stares at the screen of her phone. Her face, a mask of disbelief and growing horror. A chilling text message flashes across the screen, the words dripping with a sinister familiarity. "Thank you for the eulogy, sweetheart." The unseen sender's message twists the knife. "You've finally made me sound honest," leaving Ruby paralyzed with dread. In the dim light of her apartment, Ruby stares intently at a phone screen, her brow furrowed in concentration. Her finger traces the digits of a phone number, a silent question hanging in the air. A name appears beneath the number, stark and revealing. Martin Lang. Ruby's expression hardens, a mix of understanding and grim determination settling on her face. The name, Martin Lang, glows ominously in the darkness, a promise of confrontation in the air. In the sterile confines of the police station, Ruby sits opposite the unreadable gaze of the detective. With a deliberate motion, she slides a phone across the cold, polished table, its screen glowing with a damning text message. Her finger stabs at the illuminated words, each tap resonating with the weight of her discovery. Ruby leans forward, her eyes blazing with earnest conviction as she begins to unravel the truth. Her gestures punctuate the air, each movement underscoring the urgency of her findings. The detective watches, a silent observer in a room thick with unspoken accusations and mounting tension. In a stark, gray interrogation room, a metal table gleams under the harsh light. Detective leans forward, his weathered face etched with years of hard truths, his gaze piercing. Across the table, the man fidgets, his haunted eyes betraying a deep-seated unease. Detective's voice, a low rumble, fills the room. "The official record states your father died in a car fire. Body confirmed via dental records." Under the stark lamplight, Ruby pores over the dental report, her expression a mask of intense concentration. Her brow furrows as she zeroes in on the fine print, searching for answers hidden within the details. A flicker of realization crosses her face as she spots the first inconsistency timestamps that simply don't align. Deeper she delves, the unsettling truth solidifying with each passing moment. Cloned teeth models jump out at her, duplicated across patient records, painting a grim picture of deceit. In the stark expanse of the impound lot, Ruby moves among rows of silent, confiscated vehicles, her footsteps echoing in the open air. She halts before a charred husk, a vehicle consumed entirely by fire, its skeletal remains stark against the daylight. Ruby circles the wreckage slowly, her gaze intense as she searches for any sign amidst the destruction. The grim reality sinks in. No trace of human tissue, no telltale spatter of blood mars the scene. The newsroom buzzes with frantic energy as reporters rush about, a symphony of ringing phones and clicking keyboards filling the air. Amidst the chaos, Ruby stands at her desk, her expression focused as she listens intently. Her editor, a seasoned journalist etched with weariness, leans forward, his gaze serious. "Hold off on publishing anything about the crossing, Ruby," he advises, his voice cutting through the noise. "They're rebranding. Apparently, it's now a therapeutic retreat for symbolic death." Sunlight floods the cluttered editor's office, illuminating stacks of documents and relics of outdated technology. The editor, a man weathered by time and insight, leans back, swirling a glass of amber liquid in contemplation. Wealthy clients pay to fake their demise, shed debt, and re-enter life with rewritten narratives, a voiceover reveals, painting a picture of calculated escape. The amber liquid catches the light, mirroring the deceptive allure of reinventing oneself. In the pulsating heart of the newsroom, Ruby sits consumed by the digital glow of her screen, her eyes wide with focused intensity. Lines of code and confidential documents from the crossing flood her display, each piece a fragment of a larger, unsettling puzzle. Her fingers dance across the keyboard, a blur of motion as she races to assemble the truth hidden within the data. The crossing isn't merely offering closure. They are using AI-driven grief simulations to craft personalized obituaries. An elaborate, staged funeral, orchestrated by artificial intelligence, becomes a chilling reality. Under the bright daylight, Ruby, cloaked in disguise, approaches the crossing, her expression a mask of calculated calm. She steps into the crossing, the air thick with unspoken intentions. With a deep breath, Ruby adopts her new identity, the pseudonym rolling smoothly off her tongue as she announces herself as a client. Ruby surveys her surroundings, her eyes sharp and assessing as she begins her infiltration. Ruby steps into the reception area of the crossing, greeted by polished smiles and hushed tones. The air hangs heavy with the scent of lavender, mingling with the murmured promises of self-help affirmations. Staff members offer greetings, their eyes gleaming with an unnerving serenity. Each welcome is carefully laced with familiar quotes from Martin's lectures. An unsettling calm permeates the atmosphere, hinting at something hidden beneath the surface. In a sterile, brightly lit therapy room, Anna fidgets in her armchair, a palpable tension filling the space. Her eyes dart nervously, avoiding the steady gaze of Dr. Alara Reynolds, as unspoken anxieties simmer. The silence stretches, heavy with unspoken words and buried emotions. A staff member's words echo in the room. The final stage of therapy is witnessed rebirth confronting someone who once defined your pain. In the dim light of her room, Ruby frantically searches through a disarray of files, her expression a mix of desperation and determination. Her fingers pause, hovering over a worn file, its title barely visible in the shadows. She pulls it free, the paper whispering as it leaves the stack. Her eyes dart across the pages, searching, her breath catching in her throat as she finds the section labeled Witness. A sudden, sharp intake of breath, as her own name leaps out from the page, stark against the aged paper. The revelation hits her with full force, casting a new, unsettling light on everything she thought she knew. In the archive room, a solitary bulb struggles to pierce the darkness, casting long, skeletal shadows across the towering shelves. Ruby moves like a phantom through the narrow aisles, her flashlight beam a nervous dancer on the walls. The air is thick with the scent of aged paper and forgotten secrets. Her beam lands on the file labels, each date a chilling echo from her father's past. The dates chronicle something far more sinister. her father's death rehearsals. In the archive room, Ruby pores over files, her expression shifting from curiosity to dawning horror. Her eyes dart across the pages, rereading dates and names, the chilling details of Martin's case beginning to surface. A stage death, a major exposé. The files reveal a disturbing pattern, each event echoing the last with sinister precision. The chaos of information coalesces into a clear, terrifying truth, the pieces of the puzzle snapping into place. Ruby's breath hitches as the implications of the pattern settle in, a cold dread washing over her. The archive room seems to close in around her, the weight of her discovery pressing down with palpable force. In the stark archive room, a flashback ignites with a young Ruby's fierce ambition. Her eyes blaze with determination as she confronts a CEO, the fluorescent lights highlighting the beads of sweat on his brow. The air crackles with unspoken tension as Ruby leans forward, her controlled voice hinting at barely suppressed anger. Every word is a calculated strike, challenging the CEO's power in the confined space of the archive. In the archive room, a flashback flickers to life, casting a nostalgic glow. Martin watches Ruby on an old television screen, his eyes filled with a complex blend of pride and wistful sadness. Ruby's image dances across the screen, a vibrant echo of a past filled with dreams and possibilities. The flickering light illuminates the lines etched on Martin's face, each line a testament to time and unspoken emotions. His gaze remains fixed on the television, lost in a sea of memories, where joy and sorrow intertwine. The archive room fades into a poignant tableau of reflection, the past brought vividly to life through Martin's eyes. In the archive room, Ruby stares at the monitor, her eyes widening in disbelief as grainy footage flickers to life. The screen displays the familiar courtyard of the crossing, now a stage for an eerie ritual. Figures in ceremonial robes move with unsettling precision, their actions steeped in dark purpose. The caption at the bottom of the screen delivers a chilling confirmation: graduation ceremony, tomorrow night. The archive room is a maze of towering documents and forgotten relics, each holding echoes of the past. Martin Lang, the guest of honor, commands attention as he stands amidst the historical artifacts. He pauses, a moment of reflection before he speaks. A voice echoes through the room, resonating with the weight of history. The theme, reconciliation through resurrection. The words hang in the air, a promise of hope amidst the solemn artifacts. Shadows stretch and writhe across the walls of Ruby's room as the bedside lamp casts a dim, intimate glow. A realization dawns, piercing through the darkness. This is no mere intrusion. The air thickens with unspoken anticipation, as the shadows themselves seem to hold their breath. This is the main event, the culmination of hidden desires and unspoken fears. In the heart of Ruby's room, destiny unfolds under the watchful gaze of the dancing shadows. Flickering candlelight bathes the hall, transforming it into a somber chapel. Clients are seated in the pews, unified in their funeral black attire. A hushed reverence fills the air as the ceremony unfolds, each flicker of light casting long, dancing shadows. The scene is a tableau of grief and solemnity, the silence broken only by the occasional crackle of a candle. In the ceremony hall, Martin stands vibrantly alive on stage, his presence commanding. He gestures expansively, his voice resonating powerfully through the hall, capturing every ear. Martin proclaims, his words filled with zeal. Release. The beautiful, sweet release from this mortal coil. The crowd watches, captivated by Martin's every move and word, hanging on to each syllable with anticipation. An oppressive silence fills the air, heavy with unspoken grief and the weight of untold stories. Shadows stretch and darken, painting the scene with a palette of sorrow and introspection, a moment suspended in time, where every breath seems to echo with the past. Martin's voice breaks the silence, a somber declaration hanging in the air. We cannot heal the living until we bury who we were. Ruby bursts into the crossing ceremony hall, a whirlwind of fury and determination. Her phone is held high, recording every moment of the unfolding confrontation. The sterile environment of the hall is shattered by her sudden appearance. Her voice cuts through the expectant silence, raw with emotion. "You don't get to play God because you hate guilt," she cries out, her words echoing in the vast space. The camera on her phone captures the shocked faces, the stunned silence, and the heart of the unfolding drama. In the ceremony hall, sunlight pierces through stained glass windows, casting vibrant hues across the solemn space. Dust motes swirl and dance in the sunbeams, creating an ethereal atmosphere. Martin stands bathed in light, his presence radiating a gentle warmth. A soft, knowing smile graces his lips, hinting at a profound understanding. His voice resonates with serenity as he speaks. "Sweetheart, I never died. I just stopped letting pain tell the story." In the ceremony hall, Martin gestures towards the stage, a wry smile playing on his lips. His eyes lock onto Ruby's, a challenge and a hint of affection intertwined in his gaze. A silent expectation hangs in the air, the weight of unspoken words heavy between them. "You've been eulogizing me your whole life. Finish the speech," Martin says, his voice a gentle prod. Ruby advances, her pace deliberate yet burdened, into the expansive ceremony hall. The hall's grandeur diminishes around her, amplifying the oppressive weight of unuttered truths. Her hands betray her inner turmoil, clenching and unclenching as a visible tremor courses through her. Her voice trembles with a mixture of defiance and sorrow as she confronts the silent hall. "You taught people to fake death for peace, but you're the one afraid to live with consequence," she declares, her words echoing in the vast space. In the ceremony hall, Martin listens intently, a barely perceptible nod acknowledging the moment. A subtle flicker of pride momentarily softens his stern features. His expression suggests a long-awaited validation, a quiet triumph. Martin's voice cuts through the silence, laced with satisfaction. "Exactly." A finality hangs in the air as he concludes, a hint of condescension in his tone. "You finally understand." Inside the crossing ceremony hall, Martin gestures grandly towards the seated audience, his expression commanding attention. A massive screen flickers to life behind Martin, illuminating the hall with the stark glow of projected light. Ruby's exposes fill the screen, a montage of her investigative articles, each headline a testament to her relentless pursuit of truth. The articles stand as silent witnesses, their presence amplifying the tension in the room. An unseen weight presses down, the atmosphere thick with unspoken grief and simmering accusation. Martin stands rigid, his face etched with a painful mix of sorrow and anger. His eyes glint with unshed tears, reflecting the harsh light of the unknown location. Each breath seems a struggle, a visible effort to contain the storm raging within him. His voice, a low and trembling accusation, cuts through the silence. "You buried them too." The air crackles with the weight of his words as he concludes. "Every story you told was a funeral." The ceremony hall explodes with applause, the sound amplified by the vast space. Faces in the crowd betray a vacant awe, their eyes glazed over as if lost in a dream. Professional cameras capture every moment, their lenses focused on the spectacle. Footage streams out to unseen, anonymous donors, completing a circle of influence and control. Within the ceremony hall, the air vibrates with unspoken tension, a sense of impending transformation hanging heavy. A stark realization dawns, casting shadows of doubt across the faces gathered. The rebirth is revealed as a calculated psychological crucifixion, a deliberate act meant to reshape perceptions. The weight of this revelation sinks in, a chilling understanding of manipulation and control. The hall seems to shrink, the ornate decorations now symbols of confinement rather than sanctity. The subtle shift in atmosphere signals a turning point, the beginning of resistance against forced conversion. In the grand ceremony hall, Ruby advances towards the microphone, her stride confident and purposeful. Her eyes ignite with unwavering resolve, reflecting the ambition in her heart. She pauses, a beat of silence before her challenge rings out. Her voice cuts through the expectant air, a declaration and a gauntlet thrown. You want resurrection? Fine. In the crossing ceremony hall, Ruby stands bathed in the ethereal glow of a monitor, her silhouette sharp against the dim backdrop. Her voice, clear and resonant, fills the hall as she reads aloud from encrypted files, each word a spark in the digital darkness. Lists of missing persons, tax IDs, and client aliases flicker across the screen, a tapestry of secrets unveiled by her steady gaze. Her fingers dance across the keyboard, a whirlwind of motion as she streams the illicit content live, each keystroke a step closer to exposure. In the grand ceremony hall of the crossing, tension hangs thick as security personnel advance, their movements precise and urgent. Hands reach out, ready to intercept, their faces grim with determination. A sudden, commanding gesture from Martin stops them cold, his authority absolute. His eyes, sharp and unwavering, hold a depth of understanding that transcends the immediate conflict. A moment of suspended animation as all eyes turn to Martin, awaiting his next move. Let her finish, Martin declares, his voice resonating with a quiet power. Truth's a kind of death, too. Martin's gaze intensifies, a spark of pride flickering in his eyes amidst the ceremony hall's stark light. The hall's unforgiving light etches the lines of his face as he confronts her. You gave me life by killing my reputation, he declares, his voice resonating with a strange mix of gratitude and command. A moment of profound tension hangs in the air as he urges, do it again. The weight of his words settles, heavy and expectant, in the silent hall. Suddenly, the live stream abruptly cuts to black, leaving only darkness and unanswered questions.